everybody, it's Datum, and today's been a really long day. I was up at 4 a.m. getting some census work figured out. This is our very first day of work for my enumerators, so there were a lot of questions and a lot of things that were uncertain, and we're working through a lot of that stuff, and it's looks like I got a good team, and we're gonna really knock it out of the park. So what I want to do today is kind of celebrate my first milestone on YouTube, which is filling up my analytics window with 28 days of content. So I did that actually a couple of days ago, but I had the time to put some good videos together, so I didn't talk about it then, but we're talking about it now. So I'm just amazed at how many people have actually been finding the channel and got some subscribers, uh, got some interaction, and yesterday we had our most successful video of the whole time that I've been doing this. And I've been telling some friends that I danced with the devil and he retweeted me. And I kind of say that, you know, in jest because I really think that RPG Pundit brings a lot of good to role playing through what he knows about history and bringing those things, bringing the mechanics into those things that were or are written about in ways that they mythologically were. So that stuff, Lion and Dragon, Dark Albion, and then his other books about other cultures like Arrows of Indra and that kind of thing. I I don't own any of them. I've never seen them, but as much as he talks about them, I have a feeling about what's in the pages, and he's done flip throughs and things. I I'm really honored that he retweeted me and that we were able to kind of not have a direct conversation, but we were able to. I was kind of able to deconstruct some of his points and kind of give some counterpoints, and I really wouldn't call it a debate because we're both kind of we're focused in the same direction. We want RPGs to really be for everybody. We want there to be real differences in how they're done and who plays them and where they're played and what the topics are. And I think really deep down inside, RPG Pundit is not 100% against other kinds of mechanic systems. I think really it has to do with implementation, and that some of those games can really become um, games that don't have a ton of uncertainty. They're really a lot about like self what do you call it self aggrandizing, like self-focused stories. And I think really, if you really dig into RPGs, they're not about just the characters. There's as much about the world as they are the characters. And really, I think right now what we're seeing is there's a lot of kind of character-centric things going on because when you are growing up and then having experiences and then kind of expanding what you know and how you are able to interact with the world, well, of course, you're going to start with yourself because it's something that you know something about. It's stable. It's the only stability that you have. So once you're able to kind of build that up, then, well, the greats are going to start pushing out. You're going to start pushing out. You're going to see more people pushing out into their settings, not just like how things work, but who's there, what groups are there, why are they important, why are they powerful, what's the kind of like the very complex situation of kind of politics and ecology and all these things that kind of are under the surface but are really important in your RPGs. You're going to start seeing more people come out from these really self-centered adventure ideas and what they think, and these adventures that are really focused on who's in the party and what's going on at the table. You're going to see people getting more interested in more than that. because you can only really kind of talk about yourself so long, and you can only have so many challenges that can be kind of put forth in game mechanics to where at some point you're going to be extremely powerful and be able to deal with almost anything that's thrown at you. But when you have to deal with the problems and the challenges of the people that you love, the people that you build relationships with, um, the like metaphysical relationships like deities and um, things that don't have to do exactly with people. Maybe, you know, maybe it's the maybe it's the forest, maybe you have the environmental kind of things that you want to help and protect and that kind of thing. All of these things are possible in RPGs, and I think that right now we just have all these people that are taking those first steps into what role playing is, how to actually play a game, and the only real way to go from there is out. And I'm really kind of excited to see it because I want RPGs to not become this single faceted thing where it's just, a group of adventurers like stomping through things and, having these crazy fantasy adventures or whatever, and that's all it's about. There's so many other layers to it. There's a lot of layers that are behind the scenes that people don't think about a lot. You got the world building, you've got the simulation. Like when you get into these situations where it's like there really isn't a good system for things. Like something that I've been working on for 5th edition, but I never actually finished, was a way to actually start businesses and show, have a simulation to where most businesses don't make money, but they're kind of there. A lot of them fail, but maybe like 25-30% of them actually are profitable, and then like 10 or so percent of them are very profitable and are the thing that people, basically everybody's pursuing. I put a system together, but I haven't kind of fleshed it out with the more creative parts of it. I got the mechanical parts down, but like creatively I was just like, I was at a loss. I couldn't fill up all of the tables that I had an idea for. So, that's still kind of up in the air, but these are the kinds of things that people can do that don't really have a great system. Like there's the stronghold system, and you could build like a keep or a cathedral or, something like that. But um those things are cool, but they're not like businesses. And I think that they could be something that would be interesting for people that are actually interested in business and providing goods and services to your average person, or to like, a select um, population as your demographic, to give whatever service that you're doing and do it in a way to where it's an asset of your characters that you don't always have to be working with. So that idea is still alive. I'm sure that at some point I will finish that and I will put it out here. But that is kind of one of the long tail things. So is writing for Elthos and World Anvil. Like I'd like to write, but really at this point, this is the content that I really feel comfortable with. I'm more of a performer than a designer, but I kind of throw my hat into the designer ring because I want to provide new value to people. So that's why I kind of do these things. And, I really just kind of wanted to have a conversation about, why I'm doing this, who this is for. I really want it to be for everybody. Like everybody. I want everybody to get a taste of what RPGs are like, and that's why some of the stuff that I do is kind of more like business and marketing related, because I want to bring in people that really aren't that familiar with RPGs and give them an exposure through the channel, along with the RPG topics and along with the vlogs, to be able to do all those things together and provide something useful to the people that watch. So I'm gonna keep doing that. I think it was really like just interacting with people has been the way to grow. Every time I interact with people and people see that and they're interested in what I'm doing and who I am and what I have to say, and not just it being about what I'm making, that is really where I've seen the most growth. And I think it's because it's what's most valuable. It's valuable to the people that I'm cheering on and that I'm having these moments with, and it's it's really the only way for new people to see what you're doing. So it's not really a full-fledged collaboration at this point. I mean, I had one of my videos that is my second most successful video that was with Cameron Cornick and Mark Abrams of Althus RPG, and it's because it's the collision of the ideas. It's really a lot of what you get when you put a role-playing party together. Is because that's why RPGs are exciting and interesting, because you have an ensemble and you're going to get something out of the ensemble that's going to be different than if you were just doing something on your own. And so I'm going to keep trying to do that. Whenever I have the opportunity to collaborate or talk to people and stuff, I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna add that to my content. I've got my guys from the Carver Club. Rack is always usually around, and I want to get him into more content because he's really like he's a great person to talk to about all of these topics when they're kind of like both gaming related, and then you can kind of get a little bit into the philosophical and that kind of thing, because that's where I see gaming for me. Like that's the direction I go. I'm interested in RPGs and that kind of thing because you can kind of play with these ideas of like philosophy and theology and these things that are much harder to pin down, and it takes forever. It takes a lifetime to really kind of get a grasp on those kind of things. So you just got to do it on a regular basis. So like I said, I'm really excited and grateful for everybody that's been watching so far. And make sure, if you're not subscribed already, that you're subscribing so that you can be part of the daily content and conversations that are going on. And this has been Daily Datum, and I will see you tomorrow.